Hello and welcome back to Mental Health Matters. My name is Andrew Ditzel and this is episode 30. Today we have on Laina Ripo, and this episode is going to be called Trusting Yourself. She's got some good stuff to talk about today. We'll be right back after this. All right, so I just gave Laina a brief introduction here, what we're going to be talking about today, trusting ourselves. And Laina, thank you very much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course, of course. So the first thing we're going to be talking about today is what is the best first step in moving on after a relationship?
I think it's just going in for it and just doing. Like, if that's what you feel like you need to do, then just do it and don't think about it too much. Because if that's what you're, like, telling yourself that you need to do, then you just have to go in for it and not think about it. Because if you think about it too much, you're just going to, like, procrastinate what you need to do.
Yeah, well, I think that's a big thing with... The thing that comes to my mind is overthinking. Like, you start thinking too much about it, and then you're getting caught up in your thoughts, and you almost get stuck.
Yeah.
So you're saying more of, like, a rip the Band-Aid off, go for it type of approach.
Yeah. And not really, like, talk to many people about it. Like, when I was, like, contemplating it, like, I didn't really talk to anyone about it because I didn't want anyone to, like, alter what I wanted and how I felt. So I kept it to myself, which I guess can go both ways because, like, depending on who you are, that could be a negative thing. But, like, for me, it helped a lot because, like, no one told me, like, oh, yeah, like, leave or stay. And, like, it didn't, like, change anything for me.
And you could base your decision off of what you're thinking and feeling, not what other people are thinking and feeling. I think that's really big, and not only with relationships, but I think just decision-making in general.
Yeah.
It's very easy to bounce ideas off other people, and they want to try to guide you and maybe make you go a certain way or do a certain thing, but you're saying sometimes it's good to be like, all right, I know what I'm feeling, I know what I'm thinking, I'm going to be confident with my decision because I know what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a good approach.
Yeah.
In terms of advice, like that's another thing I'm thinking of, like, you didn't reach out for advice because you knew what you wanted. And I think advice can become a slippery thing because I think advice can be good, but it could also be hurtful if it's not what you want or what's actually good for you.
Yeah.
So how do you tell the difference? And it actually sounds like you didn't even really reach out to anybody in general. But was there ever a time when you talked to somebody about something and you were like, no, that's not me?
Yeah. Yeah, a few family members did that. Like, if I said what I was doing and they're like, well, you don't really want to, like, try? And I'm like, I've been trying. Like, like, I don't know what else to do. Like, this is me, like, telling myself, like, this is not working out, and I feel like the worst kind of in the situation where I don't really want to feel like this anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess I just, like, learned how to brush that off or just not talk about it with them and kind of, like, set those boundaries where it's like, yeah, well, if I had to distance myself just for a little bit, just to kind of, like, move past that so we didn't have to talk about that anymore. That's what I did to, like, save the relationship that I had with them.
Right. Because that's important.
Yeah.
You want to continue to have a relationship with them, but also value the decision that you're making.
Yeah.
I think we're getting right into it because what our episode is about today is trusting yourself, right? It's
exactly.
like, yeah, even the closest people in your life, sometimes they see something a little bit differently than the way you're seeing something.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important to trust yourself, be confident in the decision you're making, and really go for it.
Yeah.
This is a great start. I think we're going to have a good episode today.
Yeah. And they don't have to live with that decision either.
Right. That's a good point. Because even when you make that decision, it's not permanent, and nothing is permanent.
Exactly.
I think that's a good topic to talk about just in the mental health field, that whatever you are going through, nothing is permanent. Because like you and I just talked about recently, sometimes people do things that are permanent to themselves, and it doesn't need to get that far because their decisions are temporary.
Yeah.
And it's never a permanent thing, even when it feels super permanent. like I talked to you about with my experience with, stepping away from teaching. That was so hard for me. Like I'm like I wrecked my whole life. What did I do? But it's like this isn't permanent.
Yeah.
Like you just made one decision.
Exactly.
You're all good.
You
Let's
can go
step back.
to it.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
awesome. I like that. Some good topics to start with there.
Yeah.
All right. So, trust in yourself, and you're really leaning on actually not taking advice. And I think it's an important thing to talk about because I think everyone's like, advice is so good, like
Yeah.
you should do that. That's what you should do. And kind of breaking that mold of, all right, I'm old enough now where I can make decisions for myself and not just simply listen to what other people are saying and do what they're saying. Because you know yourself better than yourself.
Yeah.
Better than anybody else. That's good. I like that. Get me pumped up over here. A little inspired. I always feel inspired every episode. I'm like, wait for it to come. It's good. I like it. All right. So you're moving on. And in this healing process, we talked about there's an emotional void. How important is it to not find an emotional distraction?
That was a big thing for me. Like I always like moved on pretty quick from like I don't know, I guess like just finding something to distract me, obviously. Right. And I always just made sure during the last year that I didn't have that. Like I wanted to like go through it on my own. I wanted to feel what I needed to feel and then like take my choices from there. Like as far as I guess like getting back into a relationship.
Right.
I guess like I don't know, like I just like went in for it. I didn't like think about it. I like that's what I wanted to do. That was my mindset for it and I just stuck to that. I didn't like alter that. If I felt sad about something, like I made sure to feel it. And I didn't again, like I didn't turn to anyone. Like if I was sad, like I would go like sit down at the beach by myself and just like think what I needed to think and just like
and you
feel
feel
it
like that
all.
helped.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a
Yeah.
big thing that we're talking about is just sitting in our feelings. Because I think it's really easy there's so much going on in this world that we can easily distract ourselves with. Whatever it is, maybe it's a person that you're distracting yourself with from what you're going through, or maybe it's something, but you're saying really leaning into feeling what you're feeling.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to find a person to like fill that void.
Right.
Because that could just only push my feelings aside and just like I didn't want to drag anything that I was dealing with into something new. Like I really just wanted to sit with myself, and I didn't even realize I was doing that until like looking back.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really, I don't know, I guess like that wasn't my mindset, but it seemed like
it was just happening.
Yeah. I don't really know how to explain that, but
I know what you're
I was
saying.
Doing.
Because you didn't know it in the time that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
And then when you reflected, you're like, wow, that's what I was doing the whole time. I didn't even know what it was called, what I was doing, but you did it.
And that's what helped the most, was dealing it with like that.
Okay. Yeah. By getting into the feelings and feeling them. And I think it's really important. I completely agree with that. And I think a really good piece there is not only do you not want to move into something else with someone else, but I think it's a little bit unfair to that other person then too, right?
Exactly.
Because maybe you're not ready for something. And then to put somebody in that position, that's a little bit unfair as well. So I think both sides, like not only looking out for yourself, but also looking out for somebody else too.
Right.
Like, you know what? I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I got to feel this. I got to go through this. I got to heal myself.
Yeah.
Then we could take that on.
Yeah. And I believe in like trust issues and like traumas and all that stuff, but I didn't want to like make that my personality for a relationship and be like, well, I'm fighting with you because my past was hard.
Right.
I feel like everyone has a bad past, and that's sometimes like I feel like it's very like circumstance. I don't know what word I'm
Circumstantial.
Yes.
That's a tough one.
I just glitched trying to say that. But for me, I didn't want that to be like, oh, I don't trust you because I went through a bad past. Like, I need to learn that like not everyone is the same.
Yeah.
For that, and I didn't want to bring someone else down with that.
Right. I think that's a good point. And I think you're also pointing to the idea of you don't want your foundation of the relationship to be trauma.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to
exactly.
be like that, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I know some people actually really connect over the idea of trauma bonding and what we've been through, and because of the tough times, now we connect. But I think, like you're saying, the foundation for a good relationship is built off of strength
Yeah.
and communication, good trust,
Yeah.
as opposed to, all right, I still got some stuff to heal and I'm not really ready for this yet.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's really important. One thing you talked about was you would go to the beach and feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? I mean, it sounds like that was probably number one.
Yeah, I loved it. That is my favorite thing to do. Like, I would just go watch the sunset. Like, after work, I would take, like, the Ocean Parkway home. Like, that is my favorite thing to do. A lot of times I went to the gym. I would go for a walk. Like, just, like, simple things.
Right.
Just to, like, get me alone but, like, doing something that was, like, beneficial at
Right.
the same time.
Yeah.
So I was helping the situation.
And it takes some time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like for me, I want to heal, you know? Like,
Yeah.
heal me faster.
Yeah.
What's the quickest way I can
Yeah.
heal, you know? And get myself back on my feet to where I want to be. But I think sometimes it takes more than one beach visit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
More than one gym session, more than one walk to get us back
Yeah.
on our feet to where we ultimately want to be. But I think that's great that you found some things that worked for you. And it can be different for everybody. We talk about that all the time on here with coping mechanisms. What works for you, what doesn't work for you. What do you feel like, or why do you feel like the beach, the gym, going for walks, why do you feel like those all worked? I think this could be beneficial for people to hear too.
Yeah. I think the gym was good because it was a big stress reliever for me.
Okay.
Like, just, like, lifting weights. It was. It still is. Like, if I have a bad day, like, going to the gym really helps.
Yeah.
I've always been pretty consistent with it for the last, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 6-7 years. So I try to make sure, like, I don't lose that about myself.
Yeah.
That is something that really helps. And it's good for, like, your body, to get
Yeah.
your body moving, for your, like, brain, your mental health. Like, it's really good for that. The beach, I just think it's good to, like, connect like that. Like, I love, like, national parks. I love traveling and seeing all that. So for me, like, the beach was, like, very grounding for me.
Right.
Like, if I had a bad day, I would just, like, go, like, stare at the waves. It was the best.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing that this year.
Yeah. We're getting there with the
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah, or even just walks, like, just being out in the sun. Like, things that are, like, very, like, small could benefit you in so many ways.
I feel like sometimes when I do something like that, I don't even fully notice my mood shift. But then after it, I'm like, I guess that did really help,
Yeah.
you know? And you know what's interesting? Sometimes I'll be like really out of sorts, and then I'll go to the gym or I'll do something that works for me, and I'll be like, wow, I feel so much
Yeah.
better, you know? But then other times, which I think is even as important, or maybe even more important, doing that stuff when you're not terrible, but like just like maintaining your mental health. I'm like,
Right.
all right, you know what? I'm okay right now, but I think it'll be good for me to go for a walk, or it's good to stick with the gym, or you know what? I feel all right, but let's go to the beach and just like ground myself and
Yeah.
keep myself where I'm at.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
And I hope that people listening can find their way to force something that works for themselves. Talked about in a couple episodes, like everybody's got their own interest. Everybody has their own thing that they like to do, whatever it is, like painting, cooking, whatever. I was talking about this recently where alcohol for me was my escape, and that was my coping mechanism. And I was like, all right, I need a better coping mechanism to fill
Right.
that emotional void.
Yeah.
And it's okay to drink, like however you want to go about it, but to use that as your coping mechanism, I think gets dangerous.
Yeah.
So I'm actually still working on that. Like, I feel like I haven't drank in about, I think it's like 10 or 11 months now, and I'm still trying to figure out what I can do to fill those emotional voids. And I'm slowly getting there. Like, I'm running, and now I'm like trying to step out of my comfort zone even a little more and do some things. I'm like, wow, I don't see myself doing that, but here I am doing it. So
Yeah.
that's good stuff. I like that.
That's good that you acknowledge that it wasn't, like, a good coping mechanism, and you're changing that.
Yeah, it was, and it was a hard thing for me to let go, you know,
Yeah.
because I was like, this is so much fun. I love this. This is the best.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, what's more important here?
Right.
And then weighing that out and being like, all right, I know what's more important.
Yeah.
Let's do this the right way. So, good. So, next question I want to ask you here is, it sounds like through not going to an emotional distraction, you learned to spend some time with yourself more. What do you feel like that taught you by spending more time with yourself?
I think it taught me that I needed to trust myself more, because I put a lot of like trust in other people to make decisions for me, like kind of like had a guide where like a relationship was going, or like if there was like a job opportunity, I would like ask 50 people to like for their opinions, and I just like seeked that from people. And I think like just staying with myself and not like isolating myself, but like if I wanted to be alone, I did it. But I'm someone that like I enjoy being alone, so I didn't need it to like, I don't know, like if it was a Friday night, like I wasn't going crazy finding plans. Like I don't mind staying home alone and like being with myself.
I love that.
But yeah, like things like that, like I found that it was better for me, and learning that really taught me how to trust myself better, because like that's what I was telling myself I needed to do, and that's what I did. So it taught me in the moment, which I wasn't even like thinking that it was doing, that I was like trusting myself again, and not listening to other people on what to do.
Right. And I think it ties back to the beginning of the episode here, what we were talking about, of like constantly trying to take advice from other people. And like you said, asking 50 people about a job, and how that could be, it's really overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like you have your own feelings about it. And then you're hearing this from your aunt, you're hearing this from your friend, you're hearing this from your coworker, you're hearing this. And it's like, whoa, let's take a step back here.
Yeah.
And let's ground ourselves within ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of power to that in grounding yourself. And you said the word that resonated with me was within. Like really looking within and being like, I have this. I know what's good for me. And I talk a lot on here about you are not alone. And when I say that, I mean when you're struggling with something, don't be afraid to reach out for it. But what you're talking about is it's okay to be alone if that's what you need.
Right.
You know, and I think sometimes that's so important to spend time with yourself. And I think it helps you love yourself more too.
Yeah.
Like for me, and I can relate with this, where I've always wanted to be hanging out with everybody all the time, doing this, doing that. But how important it is to sometimes check in with yourself and really be with yourself.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. And spending time with family, like that was a big thing. Like I think I had a good balance with it. Like I had amazing friends and family around that really helped me and distracted me when I needed that, and like checked in with me. They always like knew what to say. So that, I think like that's a good balance, because like you don't want to like spend too much time alone.
Right.
Because like you don't want to like get into like a dark hole.
Right.
But I think like when it's needed, like take the time for yourself and find things that you like to do and do it alone.
Yeah.
So I think that like is also a big balance.
I think there's actually a stigma around being alone too. Like you go out to the diner and you're eating by yourself, and it's like people looking at me, you know what I mean?
That's so sad.
Right. But it's like, is it sad, or is it like, wow, you know what? That person is happy or comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's great, and there is a lot of power to that. And I'm happy you found that. I've been kind of going through that journey a bit too, and really trying to be with myself, and it's connected me a lot with prayer and meditation and spending more time and just grounding myself a little bit more. Be more at peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a good feeling.
It is. It's a great feeling, because it's like you don't need to rely on anyone else for being content.
Yeah.
I notice a lot with myself that, and I learned this in therapy, this phrase, co-regulation, where when you're speaking with somebody, you regulate yourself with somebody else through whatever it might be, conversation, spending time. But if you can regulate yourself by yourself, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Like that's a great talent, I would say, or an acquired skill. That's good.
Yeah.
So, how have you been able to better trust yourself through this process? That's the next thing I want to ask you. We kind of talked about that a little bit already, but if you can go a little deeper in how you really trusted yourself in that process.
My mom always says, like, listen to your inner voice. Like,
Okay.
it's telling you something for a reason. And I always ignored it. Because, like, if something was, like, happening and, like, in my past relationship, like, I always told myself, like, that's not cool. Like, you shouldn't do that. Shouldn't be like this. Like, I think we as humans, like, really complicate things.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's complicated. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. Like, if you're not happy, then leave. Like, if you're not happy with your job, there's always other jobs out there. Like, it's easier said than done, obviously, but I think, like, we just overcomplicate it because it's like, oh, but this, but that, and it's, like, always excuses for things. And, like, finally I was just like, it does not have to be like this, and there is a way out, and I'm just gonna do it.
Right.
And I just, like, went in for it and just altered everything.
Jumped.
Yeah.
Went for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Like, in the moment, like, all of last year, I didn't know I was doing this at all. Like, looking back, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, how did I survive last year? Because last year I felt very lost and just surviving every day. And, like, since, like, the new year, like, I finally feel like myself again. Well, not really myself, but like a new person.
Right.
Because I'm a completely different person than I was, like, 5 years ago. So I think also, like that's another thing, like, before getting into a new relationship, like, learn what this new person is and, like, accept that there was big changes and, like, learn how you become and what you want. So that was another big thing.
Yeah. And I think the new version of yourself, you'd probably say, is a much better version, right?
Absolutely.
Which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little scary to say, right? You're
It
like,
is.
I'm completely different than who I used to be.
Yeah.
But different version of ourselves and a better version of ourselves is what we're talking about. And the visualization that I like to think about is kind of like a butterfly. You start in a certain spot and you're growing and you're breaking out of that shell and you're shedding the old person that you used to be. And now you're a different person, and like we were saying, a better version of who you were.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of scary to think about sometimes.
Yeah,
that you're not-
absolutely.
it's like introducing this new person to yourself. And it's very weird.
Yeah.
It's a very weird feeling.
And it's almost like you're dating yourself,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like you're spending time alone, so it's like, all right, well, just like I would learn something about somebody else, I have to learn about myself as well. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
And I just thought about that. But
And I think the people around you also have to learn, like, this new person you're becoming too. Because, like, if you didn't set boundaries with, like, your siblings last year and, like, now all of a sudden you are, it's, like, weird for them because they're like, this was never a thing. Why are you saying this to me?
yeah. And I think that's hard sometimes for other people to reciprocate and to take, especially people who you're very close with.
Yeah.
And they might be like, whoa, you're different. But you're not different. Well, you are different.
Yeah.
You're just growing.
Exactly.
And you're changing. And it's important to have those boundaries, keep them there.
Yeah.
And to move forward with those boundaries.
Yeah. We're supposed to change.
Yes, absolutely. That's part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it could be hard, other people accepting the change that we're going through.
Yeah.
But that's not on us.
Yeah.
That's on other people to accept the change that we are going through.
Yeah. Because I think if, like, if you're comfortable with yourself, but it's not, like, a great version of yourself, but you're, like, uncomfortable changing, then, like, that's on you because you need to learn to, like, grow into a better version.
Yes.
If something happened to you and you want to change, but you're just, like, comfortable in your own little ways, which is fine to an extent. Like, to become a better person, you have to be a little uncomfortable for a little bit.
Yes. And I think a big thing is just stepping out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Being able to move forward in a different way than you've been in the past.
Yeah.
And I think it's very easy to get stuck, you know, in that comfort. Well, I've done this my whole life this way.
Yeah.
And then breaking out of those, whatever it might be, habits, things you do, ways you treat yourself, ways you treat other people, and breaking those, I like to say, like, breaking the chains,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
breaking your chains and moving forward in a positive way.
Yeah. And I think it's like a big thing of if something happened to you in the past, like, not in a mean way, but like you just have to get over it.
Yeah.
Like, you have no choice to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna let it sit there and like you're gonna sulk in it, then how's that benefiting you in any way? 'Cause
Right.
it's not.
It's not. And getting
Yeah.
caught in that cycle of being stuck in the past, it's a dangerous, dangerous place to be.
It is. And you're never gonna move on. You're just gonna sit there and like I'm big on like I think I'm healed, but I know that it happened and I like if I get sad about it, like I allow it because it did happen. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, the door's shut and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But just being like I don't know, I guess just get over it.
Yeah, right. Well, I think, and we were saying there's two parts to it. There's the feeling it,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the moving on.
Yeah.
And both of them are important. You do have to feel it, but you also have to move on as
Yeah.
well. And being able to sit in that feeling is extremely important, but also being able to step forward and go
Exactly. Yeah,
both are important.
that is something big I learned in therapy was to just keep going. Like you could obviously like acknowledge that it's there, and acknowledge that it happened, but like being able to keep going. I don't mean like get over it in like a mean way. I mean just like move on. Like,
Yeah.
Get over it.
Just
Like
get over it.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. And you do have to move forward.
Yeah.
And you can use the phrase get over it, or you could use the phrase move on, or keep going. But the main concept is that way.
Yeah.
Not that way.
Yeah. That was big. Like I think a lot of things I left in the past where like I don't even look in the past to see like to remember. Like if I look at like your memories on Snapchat, like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, like I remember that day. I remember how I felt that day. But if I didn't look at that, I would have never remembered that I felt like that because
Right.
I don't really look there anymore. I don't
No
look
need.
In the yeah.
Yeah.
We're going forward.
That's it.
It's whatever at this point.
Yeah. Onward and upward.
Yeah.
I love it. And all good stuff here.
Yeah.
All good stuff that you're talking about. And I want to close the episode how I close each episode with talking about how my faith grounds me in tough times. We've talked about a couple of ways that you're able to ground yourself in some challenging times. But what is something that you really like? You're not in the right way. What do you go to?
If I have a bad day, I'll either go to the gym. Once the weather breaks, I'll go for a walk. I'll go down to the beach, watch the sunset, like just watch the waves. I love doing that.
Yeah.
If it's with like someone or if it's alone, like I need that. Like I need to do something that calms me down, calms my brain down. Because I think we can get caught up in everyday life.
Yes.
Where we're not like taking time for ourselves. I also like to like every night before I go to bed, like I always like pray for everyone I love, pray for like things that I want to happen.
Yep.
I think that's big too.
Yeah, both big things. And it connects back to what we talked about in the beginning of not wanting to fill that emotional void. That it's okay to feel it. It's okay to sit in that space and to take care of yourself, which
Yeah.
is very important. I love it. You did a great job today.
Thank you.
You gave an awesome episode.
Thank you.
Guys, I hope what Laina shared today with her experience, what she's been through, it can help you with whatever you might be going through, whether it is a relationship, moving on from something, and just really trusting yourself and making a decision that is going to benefit who you are. Remember, your mental health matters, and you're not alone. We'll see you back next time.